Taking a look at this Alva fry pan. For comparison, I'm showing a cast iron pan here, and here's another non-stick pan. This is a non-stick surface on this. This is PTFE-free and all those bad chemicals that we found that are no good for us. This does not have those chemicals in it. And apparently this surface is also a diamond embedded surface. You can see the sparkles. So I've got these pans here for comparison, basically to try and justify why you would pay the amount of money that you pay for this, because it's not an inexpensive pan. But this one also here's a solid cast iron pan. This is also not cheap. We got an inexpensive aluminum pan. This one is also PTFE free. It's a non-stick pan, and I've got to say that it's pretty good. It's holding up pretty well. But this one is supposedly going to be a lot better. First of all, this is aluminum. It's very light. This is the most lightweight. But one of the disadvantages here is you got this plastic handle. Now the plastic handle means that you won't be able to use that in the oven, whereas both of these will be fine in the oven. Now this one being solid cast iron, this is great for steaks. In fact, you can see that it's been used recently for cooking some steaks, because you can really crank up the heat on this and it's not going to damage. Now with this one, what they tell you is it's not designed for high heat, so you've got to be a little bit careful. But the thing is, you don't need to crank it up to be able to get the heat to distribute, because that's one of the advantages of this pan. This is made of a 5-ply. It's stainless steel on the outside, and then it's got alternate layers of aluminum, stainless steel, aluminum, and then I guess you would have this special surface. These are some little magnets that sticks very well to that, and it also sticks very well to the cast iron. It does not stick to this. Now, one of the properties of steel is that you can use them with induction heating. Right now it's on a gas stove. It'll also work on an electric stove, so you can use these on anything, both of these pans. This one will not work on an induction. Now, another thing about the design of this is an 11-inch pan, but you get actually 10 inches inside, so it's got quite steep walls on the sides, so you get a lot of surface area. I'm not a cook. I'm just talking about these things from a design point of view, because that's kind of more my area of interest rather than cooking. I can take care of myself and I can cook some eggs, which I'm going to do in a minute. This promises to offer the ability to distribute the heat. And why is that? It's because it uses aluminum. If you know anything about aluminum and heat, the heat will dissipate so fast. With the steel, it takes a little bit more time. For example, if you heat one side of the pan over here, you can be holding this for quite some time before that heat will reach the other side. With aluminum, that's not the case. Another property of steel or cast iron is that it can retain the heat, so that even if you turn off the heat, it's going to retain its heat for some amount of time. So what you've got with this pan is kind of the best of both worlds, because you've got good heat distribution, but you've also got good heat retention. Just looking from a design point of view, this looks to have a lot of good properties. Let's just try this out with some eggs and see how this fares on the stove, just cooking some eggs. So I literally have never used this pan before. I've washed it, of course, and what I've decided to do is to use this center burner, just because it's a smaller burner, and I just want to see how it reacts. Now, I do know that with the cast iron pan, when I put the burner under it on one side, that it doesn't distribute the heat very well. You have to really, you have to get it going quite a bit. Now, this one I'm expecting to get warmed up fairly quickly. So this is literally, you can see this is cold, room temperature. So I'm going to turn this one on. If it works. Okay, there we go. All right, and I'm also going to use, it says you can use metal utensils. So let's get that warming up a little bit. And what I'll do is I'll put some blobs of butter on here. Now I know it's non-stick, but I like butter, and I like my eggs cooked in butter. So we'll just try this here, put that there. One here. So I'm going to cook 3 eggs in here. I could probably get 4, but it's lunchtime and that's what I'm having for lunch. I guess this also is going to tell us when it's reached a melting point of the butter, so that's probably a good time to drop this in. So let's see if I put this, I'm just curious, if I put that off center a little bit, so the heat's right there now, and we'll see that it should distribute the heat pretty well, which it seems to be doing. Yeah, perhaps you can see that's melting a little bit faster than that one, so I'll bring it back on center. And let's get some eggs in here. Oops, let's see how well I can. All right, this is live, folks. I'm not doing this for show. This is my lunch, so let's see how well this goes. All right, so okay, so well, you know that this is real, right? So let's take that eggshell out there if I can. Come on, I need to get that other one in so they all cook at the same time. There we go. And I think get this one over here. There we go. Okay, that's on high right now on that burner. This one actually looks like it's almost not quite ready to flip. Okay, I'm just checking here. I can feel it's getting a little warm here, so if this gets too hot, then you would want to hold this with something. Probably for this, it's not going to be a problem. So I'm going to try to flip this over. Let's see if that's going to be ready. Just pull it over here. Well, I must say it's not sticking at all, so it's not quite ready yet. Let's take a look at this one. There we go. Oops. Try this one. Perfect. So because there was no stickiness at all on the pan, then that was quite easy to flip. That's my lunch ready right there. So I'm going to turn that one off, and it's still going to have some heat. Let me just feel that. Yeah, I can hold this even up to there. So looks like for this, I can hold the pan, no problem at all. Let's just feel over there. Yeah, I can even hold this. Let's see if we can get this on here. Okay. Some Irish cheese I'm going to throw in here. Let's just see how it reacts to this. I just want to show that it's not going to stick, hopefully. And it's also a little bit of topping for my open egg sandwiches here. Yeah, look at that. So this is something that might stick on the cast iron pan. Oop. See, it's trying to stick to the spatula. Leave that a little bit longer. I think that should do it. That should do it for me. There we go. Wow. Beautiful. Looks like it just needs wiping and it's ready for the next time.